The Van Wyk family's pursuit of justice, or compensation, has been mired in controversy, casting doubt on their motives. Alongside Alta van Wyk, the widow of Gerhard Sr., the lawsuit involves three other family members, each with their own stakes in the tragedy. Gerhard Jr., Alta's son, had worked at Kaross since 2014, following in his father's footsteps as a farmhand earning $15,500 monthly, his dreams of building a home on the estate shattered by the shooting. Michelle van Wyk, Alta's daughter, was a student at the University of Namibia, financially dependent on her father's support, her studies now burdened by his loss. Leanne van Wyk, Gerhard Jr.'s wife, had joined the estate staff in January 2021, earning $10,000 monthly, her new life on the farm cut short by the violence that claimed her father-in-law's life. Together, they filed an $84.5 million Namibian lawsuit against Boulter and Essex Investments, won in the Windhoek High Court, claiming he intentionally or negligently caused Gerhard Sr.'s death. Alta sought $49.9 million Namibian, including $32.8 million Namibian for loss of support and $16 million Namibian for general damages. Gerhard Jr. demanded $22.6 million Namibian. Michelle claimed $8 million Namibian, and Leanne sought $3.9 million Namibian. Each also claimed $1 million Namibian for the intolerable living conditions they faced after leaving Kaross, alleging Boulter made their work environment unbearable. But the claim later dropped to $30 million Namibian, and a mediation process collapsed, hinting at deeper fractures. The controversies deepened when Alta became embroiled in legal troubles of her own. She was arrested at Finkenstein Estate for violating the Immigration Act after police found multiple passports in her name, South African and Namibian, despite her first citizenship application being denied. She spent a night in Windhoek's cells, but the next day, she vanished along with the dockets, charge sheets, and statements. Police whistleblowers reported interference from an Arandis officer who outranked their commander, ordering them to abandon the investigation into Alta. Her files at the Ministry of Home Affairs were inaccessible, and the CR number for her case disappeared, with suspicions that pages were torn from the incident's reporting book. Alta's disappearance, coupled with her shifting statements and the missing dockets, fueled suspicions of a cover-up. Boulter's legal team demanded the plaintiffs provide $350,000 Namibian each as security for his legal costs, with Essex Investments one requesting $300,000 Namibian per plaintiff, signaling a fierce defense. The Van Wyk's actions, demanding millions, changing attorneys, and Alta's legal troubles, painted a picture of a family whose grief may have been tainted by opportunism, leaving the case in disarray as of May 14, 2025. What really happened that night at Kaross? Did Harvey Boulter, drunk on whiskey and power, spark a fatal confrontation with his lewd remark, pulling the trigger in a moment of rage or panic? Or was it an accident, a tragic misfire during a struggle, as Boulter claims? The evidence is murky, his hand injury aligning with his story, yet the Van Wyk's accounts suggest intent. But a darker possibility looms. Was Boulter a target, a wealthy outsider set up by a family desperate for a payout? Alta's alleged $55 million Namibian demand, her shifting statements, and the family's $84.5 million Namibian lawsuit, later reduced to $30 million Namibian, hint at motives beyond justice. The missing dockets, Alta's disappearance, and her dual passports raise questions of credibility and potential corruption. In a remote land where the nearest witness might be a lion and the closest court hours away, the truth becomes a ghost, shaped by whoever controls the narrative. As of May 14, 2025, Harvey Boulter's case remains unresolved, transferred to the Windhoek High Court with a pretrial hearing scheduled for May 19, 2022, though no verdict has emerged. The Van Wyks lawsuit lingers, their claims contested by Boulter's robust defense and his faith in Namibia's judicial system. Alta faces potential charges of extortion and obstruction, disappearance fueling suspicion. A family is shattered, their patriarch's memory caught in a storm of controversy. A billionaire's dream lies in ruins, his name tied to scandal. And the truth remains elusive, trapped between headlines, hearsay, and a justice system strained by influence and interference. What began as a favor ended in a funeral. What started as generosity may have ended in greed. Or perhaps it was just a moment of chaos that spiraled into tragedy. Out here, the answers are as vast and untamed as the savanna itself. The Namibian landscape glows at sunset, the horizon ablaze with amber and crimson. A faint wind carries the scent of dust, the embers of a dying fire fading into the twilight. Out here, justice moves slowly, if at all. The land is vast, its stories rarely simple, often brutal. Harvey Boulter came to Africa to escape his past, to build a new life in the wilderness. But the past follows, as relentless as a predator. Sometimes ego kills. Sometimes the people you trust most are the ones who pull the trigger, whether with a gun or a plan. In the end, the echoes of that night at Kaross will linger, a haunting reminder of the cost of power, the fragility of trust, and the elusiveness of truth. If this story moved you, hit subscribe. We dive into cases where the truth hides in plain sight, and where every detail reveals a deeper story. Thank you for watching.